right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Schnilly Sports Picks. I'm here with my friend Nolan, and we are starting a new show based on each weekend where we break down a combo of UFC and NFL. Um, the start of the week will be this Thursday, betting wise. So let's just dive right into it. Um, Enough of the intros. The Thursday slate, Nolan. What do you have?
So we got Vikings at Eagles. Eagles home opener. Eagles look good in the first half, week one. Kind of struggled in the second half. Vikings look terrible start to finish, week one. I am kind of avoiding the game, but from a pick standpoint, Eagles minus 6.5 is the play
I think
as of now.
yeah, I think that's the obvious one when like first impressions on this game, your eyes just kind of lock in on that Eagles spread. But it's too obvious for me, in my opinion. I am actually placing a bet on this game. I will be putting 1 unit on the Eagles first half team total over 13 and a half at minus 120. Um, it was at 14, but I wanted to lay a little bit of the juice just to, get that extra half a point. The way I see it is the spread has moved in the Vikings' favor throughout the week, which is a little surprising to me. But you have to respect that move. You can't just ignore it per se.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean, some
yeah
I was gonna say some of the lines, like even like Caesars, FanDuel, or not FanDuel, DraftKings, they have the line at 6 now,
yeah
opposed to 6.5.
that's crazy. You can't ignore that. A lot of sharp money's coming in on the Vikings. Honestly, if you like the Vikings, just play the money line, in my opinion. Uh,
Yeah,
but
what's it at though right now for plus 210, plus 220.
that's good. That's solid.
I don't know. I don't see a chance where they're actually gonna win in Philly.
But just the way the line's moving is really weird. I could
Also, your pick, I would have moved it to 13 because 13.5, I could see you easily getting played by a field goal, or if they go for two for whatever it, because the Eagles like to do that. They'll randomly go for two sometimes,
mhm.
and if they don't get it, then you're uh you're kind of shit out of luck.
I'm kind of
But
I like 13 and a half. Two touchdowns, two field goals. Why
no,
not?
they're extra points, but you only need 14. I get it. Two touchdowns and the extra points, but
That's doable against a struggling Vikings defense.
no, it's not bad. I think Philly will definitely start off strong. They did last week, and then they kind of fell off. But at home, I think they'll kind of steamroll out of the
Yeah,
gate.
honestly, the way I'm seeing a lot of these games play out is I see the favorites hitting the ground running in the first half, and that's the way I'm kind of betting a lot of these. And then kind of slowing down towards the end. Like I think we could see a world where all the overs hit, Eagles team totals, um, maybe even the over in the game, and then the Vikings covering their spread. Like that's what I'm scared of, and that's why I don't want to move on the Eagles minus 6.5 because they could get complacent later in the game, and Kirk Cousins could, find Justin Jefferson down the field.
Oh,
You
yeah, they could
know,
easily. I mean, they could be down 14 with like 2 minutes to go and just get a garbage time
yeah,
touchdown. Just
I
to
could see it. So
just
I
the
like
over
the
under is at 49.
yeah. I don't want to sweat the whole game. I want to sweat the first half and call it a night. And yep, that's my pick. Are you ready to move on to Saturday?
Saturday, yeah, this is your bread and butter.
Yep,
This is where
I am the UFC guy. Here we got UFC Noche, a Mexican independence card with mostly Mexican fighters. This is taking place on Saturday evening. Now, for my first bet, I got Tracy Cortez against Jasmine Jazz Devicius. Tracy Cortez is a jiu-jitsu player slash boxer, and Jasmine Jazz Devicius is a wrestler with great ground and pound. Now, a lot of people are on Jasmine, are on the other side this week, and you can say that with a lot of these fights here that I'm about to tell you about. Um, People are expecting Tracy Cortez to be prone to the takedown by Jasmine. But Tracy Cortez, she hasn't fought in a year, which I don't like, but it's not the kind of inactivity where she's sitting on her ass doing nothing. She moved to a different fight camp. She moved to Fight Ready with Henry Cejudo and all them. And if you're trying to improve your wrestling takedown defense, moving to Fight Ready is the best move for your career. And I really like that for Tracy Cortez. I think she will be able to stuff the takedowns, and I think she has the cleaner striking out of the two. So I am keeping it short and sweet. Tracy Cortez money line, 1 unit minus 115. I like it. I like it. I like it. Moving on to the next fight, Kevin Holland money line. He is taking on Jack Della Maddalena.
Rub.
This is the fight of the week where this is the fight where everybody is just so confident in their side. Me including. I see a lot of people on Jack, and I see a lot of people on Kevin Holland, but personally, I'm leaning Kevin Holland in this one. He's got the the height and reach advantage. He is 6'3" at 170. That is huge. And no, not a lot of people, unless your name is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, is going to be beating Kevin Holland in a strictly stand-up battle, and that's where I see this fight taking place. That being said, you can't trust Kevin Holland to shoot for a takedown. If I knew Kevin Holland was going to shoot for a takedown, I think he would be a minus 200 favorite, but you can't trust this guy to do that. He has fun when he fights. He fights for fun. He doesn't fight to advance his career really or anything like that. I used to not really bet Kevin Holland, but recently, ever since he moved down to ever since he moved down to the 170-pound weight class from 185, I really like Kevin Holland. It shows that he's dedicated because he's willing to make the weight cut now. Now, Jack, he's got a very traditional boxing style, and I don't think that's going to match up well against Kevin Holland. I think to beat Kevin Holland, you need a good kicking game, and Jack just simply doesn't have that in his toolbox. And Kevin Holland has amazing distance management. He can keep Jack at a range. I don't think Jack is going to be able to work on the inside of Kevin Holland and get past that jab and his long ass reach. And Jack, if there is any sort of wrestling scramble, like let's say Kevin Holland hits him with a hard shot and rocks Jack a little bit, I think if Jack dives on the legs of Kevin Holland, he puts himself in some really bad spots on the ground, leaves a lot of openings for anyone with any kind of threat on the mat. And Kevin Holland, he likes the Darce choke. I could see another Darce choke situation like I called in the Michael Chiesa fight in Kevin Holland's last fight. I could see that. Anyways, give me Kevin Holland at dog money for some reason at plus 120. Give
It's
me
as
that
free
dog.
as it gets.
Yep. Dog money and Kevin Holland. Fucking take it. I'm telling you. I'm playing 2 units on it. My most confident play this weekend. Kevin Holland. Moving on to the next fight. It is the main event. Everybody wants to bet the main event. This is how you should do it. Alexa Grasso taking on Valentina Shevchenko for the flyweight title. Now, this is a rematch. Shevchenko was winning about 2-1 in the rounds. Grasso won the first round. Shevchenko kind of made adjustments and won the next two. Now, Shevchenko then throws a spinning back fist, exposes her back to Grasso, and Grasso snatches that shit up immediately. Jumps on the back, throws in the body triangle, and works the rear naked choke. She made it look easy. How does this fight play out? I don't know why Shevchenko is still a favorite. I think the line should be a little closer, in my opinion. Granted, she was like minus 600, minus 1,000 on some books in the last fight, and she lost. That's what you get for parlaying minus 1,000 favorites. To all the people on the MMA betting subreddit, you fucking idiots. Alexa Grasso plus 145 is the play this weekend. Alexa Grasso, she's a good boxer with good jiu-jitsu. Her takedown defense is developing. It's not the best. If Valentina does win this fight, that's her path to victory, taking Alexa Grasso down and staying safe on top. That's the way she wins this fight. Grasso, she's dangerous on the mat. She's good off her back, and she's shown signs of power in her shots. She rocked Valentina in the first round of that first fight. I hear her in her interviews also talking about aggression is the main focus of this camp, and I would really like to see her follow up whenever she stings these girls, because she'll visibly hurt somebody, and she won't follow up. She won't rush in. You know, she just kind of like blitzes in and backs off. That's kind of her boxing style. She kind of just blitzes in. Um, as for Valentina, I think she's from a different era of women's martial arts, from the Amanda Nunes, the Holly Holmes, the Ronda Rousey era, kind of the old era where these four ladies were on the top of the divisions and no one was really even close. You see flyweight, it's a very exciting division now. You got the Tyler Santoses, the Aaron Blanchfields, the Alexa Grassos. These more well-rounded women are coming into the division and fucking shit up. And I think Valentina is now seeing that. She's used to fighting girls who are specialists. Jennifer Maya, for example, um, she's fighting not very good competition before the Tyler Santos win, in quotation marks, because she completely lost that fight. She's seen these well-rounded fighters come up, and they're giving her a hard time. I don't think Valentina Shevchenko is washed, per se. I think she's a good fighter. I think she's kind of the same fighter. I don't think she's on a decline here. But I think it's just the level of competition is getting better in the division, and that's why you're seeing her struggle more. Anyways, Alexa Grasso plus 145, one unit. Give me that dog money again. All right, moving on to NFL Sunday.
So, clearly I had a lot to say about UFC because I'm the UFC expert.
You know, Kevin Holland money line. That's all you
Kevin
need to
Holland
know.
money line, you don't need to think twice. Throw it down. Every penny you have, the mortgage, the car payment, everything you got. Anyway, moving on to NFL Sunday. I got Packers -1. They're coming into Atlanta, fresh off a nice win. Jordan Love's season debut, looked strong, played well, beat the shit out of the Bears. What's new? Atlanta coming off a strong win against Carolina, much weaker team. Bryce Young making his debut. Not much to really say there. So I'm taking Packers -1. This is a weird line though, because the Packers did open up as a +1.5, and it's kind of shifted now in their favor. So if you jumped on it early, great. If not, Packers -1 I think is still the play. You're not getting as much money, as much bang for your buck, I would say, but still worthy of playing -1, or you could play them straight up. Virtually, I don't know. I always like to play the spread, get a little more juice on it. And Falcons, little fun facts here. I got Falcons have lost 3 straight week 2 games. Even though they're at home, I just I don't like them. I don't think they even though they beat Carolina, they still have a lot to work with. Their defense is okay. Their offense is very run heavy, and I just feel like the Packers will have an answer for it. They should kind of Justin Fields ran a little bit on them,
Hmm.
but they were able to have an answer for it. Second half, they completely shut them down. Fields looked lost, and I feel like the Falcons have a very similar game style as the Bears, and it's going to show, and it won't be good. However, Desmond Ritter has never lost a home game yet. He's 3-0. He's about to be 3-1 because it's just not his time. It's not your time, buddy.
All right, moving on.
And then, so second game, I got Chargers -3 in Tennessee. Last week, they went back and forth with Miami, literally head for head, drive for drive. I think, I don't remember the score. I think it was 34-31, something like that. The Dolphins are not the Titans. The Dolphins have a very, very strong offense. The Titans are the complete opposite. They're very run heavy, run dependent. Dolphins are throwing all over them. Chargers offense, I don't like the Titans have a good defense, but I don't think the Chargers are going to be much. I don't know. Herbert's 4-2 against the spreads early on this season in the last 3 seasons. He's in weeks 1 and 2. And then Vrabel, I can't even say his fucking name, is 2-3 in week 2s. I know these are very random stats, but this is what I'm working with. Chargers, I see coming out strong. Pissed from last week. Titans coming off a brutal loss last week. Gonna, I don't know. Not gonna be good for them. I have Chargers, I'd say 30-20. No, 27-20.
There you go.
27-20 Titans. Or Chargers, sorry. You have any
All
thoughts?
right. No, I didn't really look into those matches. I'm kind of keeping tunnel vision on the games I'm focused on. Anyways, your next pick, you want to get into the Commanders? You want to
Oh yeah.
explain yourself a little bit?
So Denver since 2002 is 32-9 at home in September. Yes, 32-9. Denver. Russell Wilson is 4-1 following a home loss. That leads to another home game. 4-1. Ron Rivera, the Washington coach, is 1-3 in the Pacific time zone with the Commanders. And following a win, which the Commanders did last week, Ron Rivera is 5-12. So with that said, Commanders money line. Fuck all those stats. Stats mean nothing. Commanders money line is the play. I know everything I said is contradicting all that, but trust me, Commanders +165. Russell Wilson is not that guy. All right. Sam Howell is going to go into Denver, put on a clinic. Give me Commanders 36-10.
This is such a stinky game, bro.
No, honestly, yeah, the game itself is just not. It's going to be one of those games that's on, but nobody's watching.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I think not 36-10, but I like Commanders to win a scrappy game, low scoring, a lot of I wouldn't even say good defense. I would say a lot of bad offense. Uh, Titans. Broncos just lost their tight end for a few weeks, Doltrick, so he's going to be out a few weeks. One of their few weapons. Judy's still going to be out. Russell Wilson just ain't it anymore. Sam Howell, I mean, they barely scrap by to the Cardinals, but I like them to stay motivated, stay high, and go 2-0 with a scrappy, say 20-16 win
Yeah,
in
I
Denver.
can see it. I can see it. All right, your Twisted Tea two-legger parlay. What do you
All
have?
right, don't overthink. Twisted Tea, 2 legger of the week. Twisted Tea, when you're watching, please sponsor us. But the play of the week is very simple. Chiefs money line, Niners money line. I'll start with the Chiefs. had a pretty sluggish start to the season. I'd say a Super Bowl hangover in uh, KC last week against Detroit. They're not going to go to 0-2. Mahomes won't let them go to 0-2. They're playing the Jags, who, even though they won, I don't think they look too strong against Indy, and they normally play Indy really well. Also, personally, I'm not high on Jacksonville to begin with to start the year. I'm a little biased on that, but I feel I'm not against Lawrence, but I feel like he'll regress a little bit. Not terribly, but I just feel like they're not going to be what they were last year. They were streaky toward the end of last year, and that kind of got them to the playoffs, but they weren't necessarily consistent in the beginning of the year to be as good as what I think people think they are. They do have Ridley now, but Chiefs on the road, at home, it don't matter. They're not going to go 0-2 with Mahomes. He will simply not allow it. So that pick to me, I think they're sitting at minus 140 right now. I could be wrong. Actually, that's probably not right.
I
But
think it's a little higher. I think minus 160, something like that in that
yeah,
neighborhood.
so, and then the Niners, I mean, that's just, you're not even getting a juice on it, to be honest, but it gets you to plus 100 odds, which I do like. I think the 49ers are a lock. Just, they dominated the Steelers last week. They're playing a much weaker team in the Rams this week. It is a division game in LA, but I just don't actually. Who's home? I think LA's home. Yeah, LA's home. But I don't. The Rams are coming off a win against Seattle. I think it was more about Seattle looking bad rather than LA looking good. I just don't see them beating the Niners. 49ers from top to bottom just look like one of the strongest teams in the league. And yeah, I think they're sitting at like a heavy favorite. They might be in the minus 400 range, 350.
Yeesh.
Minus 350. I know it's you're not even really getting value there, but like I said, it gets you to plus 100, so even money.
I like it.
And
Yeah, I definitely don't
just
hate
throw them
that.
in there.
Plus 100, Twisted T2 legger. We are cashing it this week for sure. All right, moving on to my NFL Sunday picks.
This should be good.
We got for my first bet Chiefs first half minus 1.5 at minus 110. Like I said earlier, I think a lot of the favorites this week, not the favorites, not the big favorites, but the people with the most expectation on them. Bills, Chiefs. You know who I'm talking about.
There's a lot of pressure on them to perform this week after
Exactly.
the last
And
week.
I think the Chiefs are going to hit the ground running against the Jags. They are going to want to come out hot. Now, that being said, if the way my betting style with the NFL is, I like the dogs. I like to pick against the Chiefs, which I did last week with the Lions, by the way. And see, I would take the Jags money line in this game if they didn't lose last week. But the problem
I agree with
is
that.
they did. They did lose last week. I think Trevor Lawrence is he's so icy. He can
Oh
bring a
my
game
God.
back. he he just has that ice, okay? And so does Mahomes though. I think the Chiefs are just gonna come out the gate hot and maybe slow down later in the game. And I think Trevor Lawrence will bring the game a little closer. I don't think they'll win, but he will bring the game back, especially since it is at home. All right, moving on to my next bet. Jets. This one's going to get a little weird. Jets plus 10, minus 130. I laid a bit of juice for the 10. They're sitting at like minus one or plus one and a or nine,
Nine
plus
and a half.
nine and a half right now.
Completely unbiased pick.
Yeah, don't ignore the
Ignore the
Jets.
jerseys.
I'm not an actual Jets fan. Okay, this jersey was given to me. Um, what I'm a Zach Wilson fan, not a Jets fan. When I was looking at this game, it kind of screams under, right? You got the line moving from what was it? It opened at like 46, 45.
Well, yeah, it was opened up at like 45 and a half, but that was when Rodgers was still playing.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that news broke, it dropped down to I think 41, but now I think it's down to 39 and a half. Maybe even actually no, I think it's down to
38.
37
Oh
and
my
a half.
god. Well, the line
So it
just got
continues to drop.
the line got absolutely steamrolled. Okay, if we're expecting this game to be that low scoring where it warrants a minus 37 or an under 37 and under 38, if that's what we're expecting here, how outlandish is it that the Jets keep it within a 10-point game? If we're
I agree.
expecting under 30, 37 points, I could see, 13 fucking 20. I could see that
Exactly.
scoreline.
I mean, the way the Jets defense played last week, I mean, they completely shut down Allen. They made him
They,
look lost.
yeah,
And I'd take Allen over Prescott every day of the week.
if they're doing that to Allen, what the fuck are they going to do to Dak? Is
That's
what
the thing.
people are high on Dak, but
People
that's
are high on the Cowboys because they put up a 40 piece on the Giants. But if you look at the numbers, Prescott didn't do any of it. It was all the defense. They got the kickoff return or the block field
yeah,
goal for a touchdown. They got a pick six or I think it was a pick six. No, it wasn't a pick six. I don't remember. They got two defensive touch. It was a pick six. But Dak's numbers were like similar to Daniel Jones that night. He didn't do anything. And I think the way our defense, I'm a Jets fan, by the way, the way our defense played, motivated after the Rodgers injury, they're going to come in and they're going to leave it all on the line. And I'm not saying they're going to win, but I could definitely see them covering 10. I right now I'm putting that like a 20 to 16 game. It really comes down to Wilson. If Wilson can ball out, then I think they could win the game. I don't think they will. I would never bet on it.
yeah. The
But
thing is, I don't think the offense can get behind Zach Wilson. I don't. They don't like him. It's pretty apparent.
I think that was apparent last year. I think things are changing. I think last week said a lot about him. Even though he didn't necessarily win the game, he didn't lose the game. So I think
Yeah,
they're going to rally around him. Rodgers is still there, so he's there to mentor him.
I think.
He's going to lead him. I don't. It's it's tough. This game will say a lot,
Yeah,
but I think
I
last week
believe.
they can build off of.
I think Zach is gonna get fucking lit up by the Cowboys defense. And his O line is terrible, man. He's got like people who
It
should be
was
people who should be retiring on one
all
end of
right.
the
All
spectrum,
right,
and he's
listen.
got and he's got rookies in his O line. Like
No, listen.
it's bad. It is bad.
No, the O line is not perfect, but it's definitely better than what it used to be. Last year, it was a lot. I mean, it's only been one game. But last year, it was a lot worse, and the year before that, it was even worse. So I say they're getting better. Uh, I just Cowboys defense is nasty, and Wilson could be in for hell. But if he could just keep composure, stay in the pocket,
I
he
think
tries to just do too much too many times. Like
yeah,
he rolls out.
I think they're gonna slow him down on that. I think they don't trust their own QB and they're gonna make him run the ball more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's
It's going to be
he's not
Brees
gonna
Hall,
he's not gonna be
Dalvin Cook
throwing.
game.
Brees Hall had a fantastic game against the
Oh
Bills,
well, he's an
and
animal.
yeah, obviously. And anyways, I think it's just two very good defenses, and that's what's gonna come down to who's got the better defense, or no, I should say who's got the least worst offense, in my opinion.
Well, the thing is, Cowboys' offense is good. It just didn't show last week. But I think that if we being the Jets, if the Jets offense can just avoid turnovers, they don't even need to make big plays. I just think if you avoid the turnovers, the offense will come naturally. You could put your points together, and the defense will put you in a position to win the game.
I could see a couple field goals and then like one touchdown from a Brees Hall run. And
I could see that. Put them at 13.
yeah, and if they're at 13, that's going to
You
be a
need,
large spread for the Cowboys to cover against a Jets
yeah,
defense.
I agree.
All right, moving on. I got Bills first half team total over 13.5 at minus 130. I laid a little more juice to get that down. Basically, I have the same write up as I do the Chiefs in this game. Hit the ground running, lost last week. They've got a point to prove against the fucking Raiders. Okay.
Fresh off a win.
Diggs he grabbed the game by the balls last week because no one else was. No one else was trying to rally the troops. Josh Allen looked like a sad little autistic kid on the fucking
Oh
sideline.
my God.
Diggs went over there, told him what he was thinking. He said, "Throw it to me," and Josh Allen kept finding him. But Josh Allen played fucking horribly, and honestly, he's only had um, he's only had 3 games in his career with 2 interceptions plus. That was a one-off night. I will not expect that here at all. Give me Bills
I
to
agree.
hit the ground running. They're gonna put
I
up
didn't,
2 touchdowns in the first half,
I'll
and
say I didn't play this, but I also agree. I might even end up playing it. I feel like they might even put up a 20 piece in the first half. I think they're going to come out pissed. They're going to take it out on the Raiders, and it's in Buffalo. Crowd's going to be loud.
yeah, the
And I just,
Raiders they're getting fucked in the ass this game.
this seems like a 38 to 20 game to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 20 coming in the first half, and
Yeah,
then
give me
it
35
just
13 for this one. All right, that is what I have for Sunday. We don't have any Monday picks. We couldn't really find anything. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our first episode.
hold on. I got one last bet.
Uh huh.
Complete bias bet. College football Saturday. Alabama at USF, my alma mater. USF plus 32. It's the it's the bias play, but it is the play. And if you're really feeling special, USF plus 2100. Don't do that. But USF plus 32. It's the play. Give me Bama 35-6.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. That was our first